as possible, which means using solid colors and not gradients. So there are design-based features that do prioritize the speed part. So we can, if there is someone that is having real trouble with the speed, we can focus on a rather more material UI. Just Google material UI examples or flat UI examples, and you'll get to see that how they can make good websites with less number of image content. The way we do our sections, more they are on image based, more they use patterns or other things like that. That's gonna help us with the.
Willie, you're on mute.
My bad. So are we talking like making the comp a little plainer, basically, or just like using different types of assets, like not like photos or images?
Just have more flat area in it, as in more solid area. As material UI means that you don't have gradients and you use uh, CSS based UI, what are called UI elements,
Okay.
instead of like these bars, lines, all these things. It's a little more harder to contemplate for somebody who's not actually doing the. So this is the kind of design that usually a person who does the Photoshop, the CSS
Coding. Yeah.
himself has more control over, because he knows what kind of what kind of controls I should put in that I can do in CSS. So either we come up with like a model design or something that's more material oriented and uses something that has the aim for using. Another thing that's going to be super helpful with is one of the most, let me copy one of the most important paragraphs that I've read so far, uh, since we heard about this meeting, and I went looking. So there's another one that I had already pasted. I will talk about that later when we talk about WebP images. But this right here, render blocking, JavaScript. So this, oh no, not this paragraph. Actually, it was the
Ali, how about
way
you show us some samples as well? Like, do you know any sites?
I'll share a few samples as well, but I am, yeah, this paragraph right here. This is how Google actually Lighthouse, that new API. This is how it really works. So every 5.5 seconds, it takes a screenshot and tries to see how much content they're able to see, because people don't have time. They have like 4 or 5 of same websites open, and it just comes down to the speed. It's been enough time that enough companies have taken care of the SEO. There are enough companies who WordPress is pretty mature, so they take care of a lot of SEO stuff. So Google is not really that much worried about, other than the script that hinder its ability to view the content. But on the other side, it takes these screenshots at every 0.5 second. It loads and sees how much content has been loaded. Especially when what we've got going on is we've got an above the fold that loads first, that is super image heavy. And that is, even still, maybe with all the compressions that we're doing, Jawad has been. I mean, I look at some of the code. Once it's done, it's minified. It's done to the point that everything that could be done. But once we have those less heavy, we can definitely see. I mean, if someone is having an actual trouble with the speeds, and we want to see somebody, if the speed can affect the ratings or whatnot, then we can definitely go for a lightweight ATF. That because now we know that how Google is actually making those evaluations. So more content loads faster, especially the first ones, the phone number, the first bar. It should be, especially the menu bar, it should be as image less as possible. It should be as flat as possible. So we should have like one that we should aim for, and then the another one that the other link I sent is for a WebP based It's just like one of those plugins that compresses and it takes all the images and runs a script and converts them into WebP. This is something that we should test if this works. I mean, I've looked at some of the reviews. They've been ranting about how big difference it has made for them. So we should give this a shot on one of the newer sites. Maybe
Have we not
Denso.
tested out the WebP tool yet?
No, not enough, but this is a good start. This gives us a an automation over it. So just the implementation is not gonna take me like the full week, and I won't have to worry a lot about what comes next when actually Jawad takes over and minifies how much my WebP is gonna hinder that part, because that is all of that is in the scripts as well.
All
All
right.
of
So
the WebP coding.
what do you need to roll out the WebP test there?
Just this. I need just a green light on one of the that we're gonna be using WebP. We can and just this WordPress plugin that I should. It's free, so I should be able
So,
to.
Ali, me and Jawad were talking about this earlier, and we were thinking that we need to do a little bit more research on the web before we can test it out on the site.
I mean, the um,
What's the concern, Dan? It's like, well, what do we need to test out?
Jawad can fill you in better on this, but like, there's some like we're not really sure it's gonna do what it's supposed to do, and also that it's Google proprietary, right? So we want to make sure that we're covering all bases when we try something that's created by Google, basically.
Okay. Why is it a
Yeah,
concern that it's Google proprietary?
well, just when Sarah left on leave for leave, so I worked on I think 1.5 day for WebP images, and I think I have a document as well. I did R&D and how we can implement it on our site as well. So I will share that soon after the call with Danish, and I think I have some good R&D on that. Uh, as soon as because after that I have started on 404, so I left behind that.
Okay, but what was the main concerns from that
Main
document?
concern is development. Actually, implementing web images is little tough, so we have to check how we can do that. As I have not done that before as well.
the compatibility issues with different browsers, how they treat.
Yeah, exactly.
There are more problems taken care of when we do the small nitty gritty responsive stuff.
Yeah, actually,
They behave a
that is
little.
Google product. So Google says that use web images, so they are more compatible with Google Chrome, and for Firefox and other browsers, we have to dig more into that how we can make compatible sites using web images.
So Safari would be a big concern here.
All right. So how do we address that issue with Safari?
We have to test it out.
Testing
So we'll just need to. So by the end of this call, we'll just have. I guess Ali is interested, so we can just assign it to Ali, and then we can test it out thoroughly, and make sure that it works properly on all sites and on all types of browsers.
Okay. That's okay.
And you can come back next week.
Yeah, we have to start somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
So,
the
yeah,
WebP thing.
it's yours, Ali.
Go ahead, Danish.
No, go ahead, please.
So I was just saying that the WebP thing does seem to be one of the things that brings down our score in those tools that Google likes to push. So yeah, if we can get on the R&D on that and figure out what our solution is, that's going to help the company overall.
Yeah, so it looks like Javad has done most of that. Let's just take it to the next level. We can just decide Ali's interested, so he can take it and run with it.
All right, great.
Ali, you okay with that?
Yep. Sure.
Okay.
I've been pushing for it for a long time.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Sarah left, so that's that kind of was part of the delays. But it's all yours, man. Tell us next week how it went.
Will do.
Ali, as far as what you were saying about the making ATFs that are less image heavy and more of the
Hmm.
material UI, do you have an example site of, that you think is a good example site of that that's
I'll
like, kind of lost from
I'll,
Yeah,
us?
I'll share a few
I asked
examples.
him for that. Yeah. So Ali, please
Yep.
share a few examples with us, and we can share with the designers. Like my
All
only
right.
concern over there is like how much of a trade-off will it be between design and development? But I guess that's a conversation we can have.
Yeah, because actually, it may be Tom that's our biggest obstacle there, because Tom likes to push the whole like the magazine look, you know?
Like the trophy look, yeah,
Yeah,
the trophy room thing.
right. But yeah, if you've got some examples of that, I'd be interested in seeing like how they compare to like what we've been doing and like what kind of happy middle ground we can find between the two, maybe.
Sure. Sure. I'll see what I can do there, and I'll try to find as many sites that are more similar to ours, so we can compare.
All right, great. All right, Dan Shirley.
Yeah. So I guess we've already. So I guess what we can do is that we can assign the lazy loader to Jawad for next week, and he can try that on Apricot Dental. Sorry, ApricotLaw.com before he does the move. So I guess that only leaves us with the last portion of the overall improvement, which is that what improvements can we further make in the way we are building sites. And really, I guess at this point, I would also ask you, from your point of view, from a SEO point of view, like what challenges do you see? Because I believe in one of our calls, you were telling me some stuff. If you want to share that with the team, and then we can talk about that.
Well, for right now, for this workshop, I think we should go ahead and focus on the scores and page speed insights and Lighthouse for Google, because like it's a good idea to kind of tackle these one at a time, and save the other stuff for kind of future workshops down the road. Um, so that way, once we've got this got this one fully under control, we can kind of move on to the next one if that makes sense.
Okay, fair enough.
Because right now, probably our biggest obstacle for development is getting those scores and page speed insights up. I want to make it clear to you guys that I know that those are flawed tools, and you know I made it clear to Nick and Tom that those are flawed tools, and that they don't really the scores that Google gives us on those. You know, we know that that's not really an accurate estimation of like what's going on with the site. It's just that that's Google, the way Google views like site performance. It's probably better to look at it as like Google's site performance grade rather than like a page speed grade. But because Google is who we're trying to make happy, we have to kind of like show them what they want to see basically. But we are aware that those are flawed tools. It's just that for SEO you have to show Google what it wants. So we need to find ways to get those sites those scores up, especially on mobile. That's for development. I think that's probably our biggest challenge right now.
Okay, cool. Um, so I guess kind of take what we need from insights and not everything that it's selling us, basically.
Yeah, I mean, whatever those diagnostic tasks they're throwing at us are, those are the things we get to focus on and figure out how to incorporate in our builds. Like I know the WebP image thing, for example. I know that that's more like Google pushing its proprietary image format than it is like the actual site performance. But Google wants to see it. We got to show Google what it wants. So
Cool, sounds good. So okay, I guess then for the purpose of this workshop, we'll just stay limited to WebP and Lazy Loader for now. And we'll reconvene next week and see what Jawad and Elias come back with. Shakir, did you have any input, any thoughts, concerns about any of this before we sign off?
Yeah, just two things because we discussed about Google Material Design and the flat design approach. The thing is that Tom is pretty much right because for the type of customers we're catering to, we need to make them websites that are really attractive and are really attracts the user in a sense that they find the lawyer or in future dentist a friendly person, a person who can help them. So if we move towards especially Google Material Design, we can't really convey that with our websites. I think it's just a thought because I have seen Google Material Designs and they're really robotic kind of designs rather
Yeah.
than
No,
people centric.
I agree with you,
So
Shakir.
so doing that with Google Material Design is obviously the right approach, but given our customers, we can't really, I think, pursue that line further. And I think the best option would be to go for flat design and maybe spice things up a little in there to make it more attractive, more friendly kind of design in a way that serves the purpose of getting better rankings in Google, and as well as making users comfortable in using that website and converting to actual customers for our clients. So that's what I wanted to add.
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, Shakir, and I agree with that analogy that the customers, they want best looking stuff, and that's why I said it's going to be a trade off between Google and design.
Yeah, I think that's fair too, because like what it really comes down to is not just the rankings, like how we do in the SEO, but also whether the site converts.
Exactly.
So if a nicer looking site that's more image heavy converts better, then we have to figure out what the middle ground there is, like how much we want to trade off one to the other.
Right. Exactly.
That's an excellent point.
Yep. Anything else, Shakir?
No, that's it, I think.
Just to on the same point, I've shared a few examples in the chat. Take a look there. So there is a middle ground. We can still use images, but another thing that we can do is take out the background and use the images. So most of these have images. Most of the sites that I've shared have images, big images, but they are the images of just a person. If we can come up with a way to keep the background solid, that leaves almost like 70% of that image is gone, and we're just using that part. So we can adjust our photo shoots to have solid backgrounds where it's easier for the designer to take those folks out in a way that does not look weird, and they can and then we can replace the background with a solid thing that's not taking the whole part. But if the photo is it has to be with the office, then we it comes down to that point where we are torn between the two options.
Yeah, let's run this by the designers. Let's see what.
Yeah, this is definitely a point of overlap where we kind of need to get their input in, like what they think they can do and that kind of stuff. I definitely like this though. This is excellent. I like hearing this feedback from you guys. So yeah, we might do like a combined workshop at some point where we kind of like get the designers on here and kind of go back and forth with them. I know they tend to be kind of talkative as well, if they're in the middle of it.
Yeah, because they operate under very strict guidelines.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, great. This is excellent, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, great conversation, guys. So I guess just to wrap things up here, Ali, you'll come back next week with your findings on WebP. And Jawad will come back with Lazy Loader. And you're free to do that on apricot.com before you move it over. Okay, if anyone else has anything, or we can wrap it up.
I'm good.
Willie, anything you have?
Nothing here right at the moment. Just want to put it out to you guys though that one thing that we should be doing in the workshop is also going over the OKRs for the quarter. So there's an OKR tracking sheet that everybody's supposed to update their progress in it. So probably starting next week, we'll start doing that as well. Just
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Sure.
And if you guys want to like rework some of your OKRs to kind of incorporate some of this stuff, I'm fine with that too. So to be frank, I don't really know what the process was to arrive at all of your all's OKRs. So if any of you want to kind of tweak your OKR to like switch over to more of this stuff, I'm totally fine with that. Just let me know, or Danish know.
Yeah, cool. We actually went on separate calls with Sarah, several calls, and so I think we're okay with what we do.
Okay, cool.
Let's just start tracking that.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So like what the normal format is for like the other departments is that on the workshop call, we kind of like just review OKRs for like 10 minutes, and then we kind of launch into the substance of the workshop, which is what we just did.
Cool. I see. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It was great conversation today.
Yep. Thanks, guys. It was an excellent meeting.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. Take care.
See you.
Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.